So in this short video, I'll just be talking about the version 3.5 character banners that will be coming up, and to discuss who I think people should pull for, and just my thoughts basically. Alright, so let's get to it. So we know that in the first phase, there's going to be Dehya and Cyno rerun. So Dehya will be debuting. Obviously, we don't have her yet as of right now, so I'm using D-Luke as the substitute here on screen. And then in phase 2, we will have Shenhe's return, her first rerun after well over a year, and Kamisato Ayaka's rerun. A lot of people were expecting Eula, myself included. Unfortunately, that's not happening. But we will also get the debut of the 4-star cryo physical character, Mika. He'll be a polearm user, and that will be part of phase 2. So let's just start with phase 1, which will be premiering as of the publishing of this video. It will be happening in a few days, actually, next week, basically, when version 3.5 goes live. And I personally am now leaning towards skipping Dehya. So aside from Nilu, who I skipped, I haven't skipped any other character. Now I also have to be grateful that I was lucky as well, where I did win the 50-50s for several of the characters over the last little while. So there's that too, right? But I will probably be skipping Dehya. Now, don't let that influence your decision if you love her. And I actually really like her personality. I like her design. I actually really liked her character teaser so far that came out. It wasn't her full demo, but her teaser came out. And the official notices that came out from Hoyoverse already, explaining her skill and her burst in more detail. The little ones with the GIF animations and talking about her birthday and her lights and all that stuff. So, after reading over some of that and viewing it more carefully, I decided that I will be skipping Dehya when she debuts next week. The other reason is because I don't even like using Claymore users. For example, I've had D-Luke for a while now, and I hardly ever use him. I don't even use Eula that much, but of the Claymore users, I prefer Eula because she's the fastest Claymore user, like in terms of her design and her kit and her move set. So I just feel like Claymore users are very slow and clunky. They're definitely good DPS characters, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not really, I've never been a fan of Claymore users, so this is nothing against Dehya specifically. Now, the other thing I want to address is that I didn't really post any videos about the drama or the community, controversy over the 3.5, but that's like a given. I think everyone who's been playing the game for a while would know that, 5-star characters are expected to be like, special and powerful and etc., right? And especially a very well-loved character like Dehya, who was in our Sumeru Archon quest and story quest, right? So it's unfortunate that they have gone the route where she does not seem like she would be that strong. Now, and does not seem like she can do lots of reactions and whatnot, okay? That's what people have pointed out. People have done, other streamers have done a really great job of, freeze framing and screenshotting, the actual demo from the 3.5 preview live stream, where they were demoing Dehya, saying that, that demo wasn't a good demo of her skills, and that, she doesn't do that many reactions like melting or etc. So, I don't know, more can be seen. Maybe we will all, find out more once she goes live and people actually will fall in love with her, or maybe they will buff her, who knows, in the future maybe. Maybe they'll release a specific or exclusive artifact set for her. Or maybe more support units for her, or other units that could support her better and make her really viable. Remember, we all said similar things to other 5-star characters that released in the past where they weren't what people expected. Let's just say, for example, Cookie Shinobu, when she first came out, people didn't like her, but she's a 4-star character. And then later on, when Dendro came, she became really powerful, or at least more usable. Kokomi, I had posted several videos back then when I actually paid for her, and I didn't like her after when I regretted pulling her. That was way when she first debuted. Then later on they released an artifact set for her, the clan set, and then they kind of buffed her in a way where they made her more viable in certain team compositions, etc. Right? So, and then, way back when Kazuha first debuted, people didn't pull for him in his first debut banner, right? And people were saying that he's just like a 4-star sucrose and all this other stuff, right? And he wasn't any more special, and he doesn't do lots of damage, right? Well, lo and behold, he's super powerful in the Abyss, for crowd control and everything like that. So, and then they delayed his rerun on purpose, in my opinion, to drum up more anticipation for him, right? So, things can happen. Now, with Dehya, she will be appearing on the standard banner from version 3.6 onwards. Some people are saying it's because she's not that strong, so then putting on the standard banner is perfect. That could be one reason. The other reason could be simply just because maybe they don't plan to buff her, and then they want you to get more standard characters, because apparently if you're a veteran player, and especially if you're a whale, you might have lots of constellations on your standard characters already, so that's why they're putting her there, so that you have more options to get actual other characters instead. Because some people have gotten, like, I don't know, C7 or C8 Chi-Chis or Monas, right? I know I've gotten like a C7 or C8 Mona by now. So anyway, enough about that. So for Dehya, I like her character and I would like to play her story, but I don't think I'll be polling for her. So I spent a little bit too long here, so let's just quickly move on. Cyno, I was grateful that I won the 50-50 for him when he debuted. I got him using just, again, I don't spend any money in the game anymore except for the Welkin, the monthly daily thing. I don't do the battle pass anymore, and I don't buy wishes anymore, so I'm grateful that Cyno came to me. I'll be honest, I don't actually like using him. I find him clunky and hard to use, and he's actually, how he turns into a wolf. It's actually very similar to how Dehya would use her fist and all that. It's very similar. I don't like that playstyle. So, so I would not recommend pulling Cyno. There was also a community poll going around online recently, where a lot of players voiced and voted, and they said that Cyno was their biggest regret character. And I already said this before too, Cyno reminds me of Xiao, and I find them very clunky to use. This is biased, but I'm on PlayStation, and I just find that they're a little bit hard to use. Even Yae Miko I find clunky to use, but I have to use her in the current Abyss cycle. So and sometimes I die because of her. So, just similar. So I would say, just to wrap this up for phase 1, I would say skip Dehya and Cyno. Next, for phase 2, people are waiting for Shenhe. She hasn't rerun until now. In 3.5, phase 2, she'll be coming for her first rerun. And she's a great character too, but she's a 5-star buffing character for cryo. And I know many people who main like Ayaka or Ganyu, and they're going to love her. That's totally fine. Go for her. I think that's totally safe to go for, because who knows when her next rerun will be. And I think she's a lovely character. I don't know that we actually got like major storyline with her. I think she was part of was it Archon Quest or Lantern Rite last year when she debuted, but she didn't get her own story, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So maybe we'll get an actual story for her in the future. They did not announce that for 3.5 though. And then lastly, we have Kamisato Ayaka. She's one of the most beloved characters in the game. She's been around since before the game launched, and people still like using her. Obviously, this makes sense that she would get a rerun here because they released her outfit in 3.4, the current patch that that we're currently in, and they didn't rerun her there because obviously they're rerunning other characters because Yelan and Hu Tao just needed it. So I would say Ayaka is a solid character to use in certain Abyss cycles especially, and she's definitely a very strong character to build up if you want to get her constellations as well. So I would say skip phase 1 and go for phase 2, either Shenhe or Ayaka or both if you can. And in terms of the weapon banners, we won't have all the details, but basically Dehya will get her Beacon of the Reed Sea, which is going to be from the Cyno and Nilu category of weapons. That's to me are going to be a skip, and Cyno's weapon, which is obviously part of the same series, is a skip. And then Shenhe's weapon is a very niche weapon. It's a Calamity Queller. I don't have any of those weapons, right? I do have the Mist Splitter, and if you're going to go for any of the weapons, I would say get the Mist Splitter. Alright, and then Mika, I will just throw a few polls on phase 2, because as you can see, I already own these characters, so I'm not going to go hard and heavy. I'm going to throw a few polls to see if I can get one Mika, and then that way I can have like one copy, and I can build them up and use them. I don't expect much from him, just like any of the other 4-star characters in the game, but it's nice to have them, just to build them up. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the 3.5 character banner. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to pull for any of the 5-star characters, or are you guys skipping all of the 3.5 and waiting for 3.6? Because that is basically what I'm doing, except for the my attempt to try to get one Mika with a few polls. That's it. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys